Hi! It's been a while. Happy New Year! I'm Tulio. No, fuck. I'm Jailene Diaz. Can I remember my own name? Apparently not. I'm 23. I use any pronouns. I'm an Aries, and my resolution is to drink more water, eat less sugar, and, just vibe.
Hi. It's been a minute. I'm Sonny Carpenter. I also use any pronouns. I'm also 23. My New Year's resolution is to write more? Write more.
Oh, what a dork.
Yes. That's it.
Can we talk about, for a second, the disparity between how many episodes we've decided for this year? Because I was lowballing it and being like, yeah, I'm good if we only do 8 more episodes for this year.
And then I was like, no, let's do 12 episodes and record double that. So my goal, if you can do math...
I can't.
Is to read 36 of these books.
36?!
So you shoot high so that you won't be disappointed when you don't meet that goal.
You shoot low. That way you know to be realistic on yourself.
Oh, the realism is 12 episodes, because we already have 3 recorded.
Yeah.
That I need to get through.
Oh, it's fine. You know, these babies will come out when they want to.
Exactly.
What did we read?
Good question. We read heartfelt things that made me hate Rachel's dad just a little bit.
Ooh, that's a spicy take.
I felt bad hating it because, like, I don't have any experience being a child of parents that are married, but at the same time, I was mad.
I am the firstborn of a second marriage. So to me, I was like, yeah, that's fine. He can fuck off.
So we read book 7, The Stranger of Animorphs, and the POV character this time was Rachel. And I do have a summary.
Oh my word. I'm glad one of us does.
So it starts off with our usual Rachel and Cassie getting up to shit, and they're terrorizing the elephant master at a circus. And of course they do, because they're adorable.
Yeah, animal rights, the abuser always gets fucked up again. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah. I love it. That leads to Marco, like, you know, everyone's kind of tired of her shit, so they're just kind of like, yeah, she'll do whatever. But the reason they all got together is because Marco and Tobias figured out another entrance into the Yerk pool, and they are all like, heck yeah, we can go destroy it, except we all have PTSD from it, so they're stoked. And right after this, Rachel finds out her dad is moving away, and he asks Rachel to move with her, or with him, to this new city. And that was the thing that made me hate it. Like, they did such a good job of building up Rachel being so angry about it that I was angry on her behalf and being like, I hate this guy. And it's like, no, she doesn't hate him. She's just angry.
But the way they portrayed her anger was so profound and deep, because she had to, like, hold her tongue, otherwise she would cry, and just stepped out.
Yeah, and she's like, I have to leave so he knows what it feels like for someone just to leave. I didn't slam any doors. I didn't stomp. I didn't throw things. I left.
Like the emotional intelligence here.
Right? And then on top of that, oh, and this is when that night Rachel leaves to get well, she talks to Tobias for a hot second, but the main thing she does is she goes to get a grizzly bear DNA. Like, that's what she acquires. And then the next time we see them all together, they go to the Yerk pool as cockroaches.
So nasty.
So nasty. They get there, and then they're almost eaten by I can't remember what they're called, a Haxon?
Harbinger or whatever?
Yes?
Hork-Bridger.
Hork-Bridgers are the good guys. This was
Yeah.
the bad guy. Wow, I opened up to the wrong page. It's fine.
Listen, if you read this book, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know exactly what we're talking about. This is the thing, the taxons. The taxons! They almost get, like, eaten up with his tongue, which I was like, nasty. But then some Deus Machina shit happens. That was, like, my explanation. And they meet this creature called the Elemist.
Oh fuck, this one really got me. I was like giddy, I was shaking, I was like, ooh, a new one! Hey!
That's how I felt. I was like, oh, there's not just 4 alien species out there. I was living for it. The Elemist is a time and corporeal weird alien, so they can stop time. And they can show the kids potential futures. And this particular Elemist, I don't think we learned his name, because they don't have names, right?
No.
They are working as an environmentalist to save some humans. Because the Elemist knows humans will be going extinct. They're like, you won't win this fight, you're gonna go extinct. But I really like your planet. Like, I think it's cute. It's a good vacation spot. So,
like, I really love your vibe.
Your vibe. Like, I love your oceans, I love your animals, I love your stupid politics. It's really sexy. Anyway, the Elemist knowing that they're gonna go extinct, the Elemist gives the kids a choice to stay and fight for all of humans and all of the Earth and stuff, or abandon Earth with a few others and save the human race. The kids really do have to think on this decision for a minute, and they end up saying no to it, because they're like, Cassie tries to make them say yes, but she realizes it's a losing battle, and she's like, I'm gonna vote with the group, because I trust my friends, and I want them, like, it was good. I like Cassie's character in this, because she was the good voice of the other side without it being annoying, you know?
Yeah, or antagonistic.
Because that's the thing, is she wasn't, like, shooting down their ideas. She was trying to up his idea, which I like about Cassie's character. Well, once they say no, they're then snapped back into the moment that they were snapped out of, aka being eaten, boar, and they end up untransforming from cockroaches and breaking apart this taxon. It happens. Anyway. It was described in detail.
Alright, I did give you some page warnings on these.
You did, and then I didn't listen.
Anyways, just to put a little bumper, top of chapter 2, there's body horror. The first page of chapter 8, bird to human body horror morph. Bottom page of 22 to 23, there's the roach morph, and it's 2 bodies, and it has mirrors. No! Ew!
They were staring at each other as they were morphing, and the mirrors.
Chapter 15 throughout is just nasty. Like, the first 2 pages and the bear fight, like, I wrote, this is, like, lots of violence in this one, Amputation Nation.
See, this is funny, because I read this right after reading a different book that had a lot of gore in it, so I think I was a little desensitized. But still, the transformations are still pretty rough.
Yeah. So that was your trigger warning. Go back to the summary.
So the kids are actually able to escape because while they were like frozen in time, but they were able to move around. No one else was. They saw like this the escape chute thing. So when they burst from the Hork-Bajor, Rachel turns into not the Hork-Bajor, the Taxons. Rachel turns into a grizzly bear and beats the shit out of a lot of them, and they're able to escape. And then Rachel goes home and she struggles with all of these choices. And she starts acting even more reckless and skips school, and for the first time in her life, she says, which I'm like, that's not reckless, that's just being a child. And then the next day they meet up again to discuss the Elemist's offer, and just before Rachel becomes the deciding vote, because it turns into 2-2, they are whisked away to the future where they see a destroyed Earth. The important thing I didn't mention, during these time freezes, Tobias is transported to wherever they are as his human form.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was like, who is this boy?
And then they say, oh, it's Tobias. And I'm like, oh, my heart! And they see a destroyed Earth. Rachel meets her future controller self and a massive yerk pool in the center of town. They, emphasize that, everything around this yerk pool has been destroyed, and they were questioning why did they put it here. There's, fields and marshes everywhere. Why put it here? So I really appreciated that, because that was a good hint to what happened next. Right as Axe is gonna kill Visser 3, they're teleported back home. And then they all vote yes to leaving, because they're like, if that's just what the futures looks like, humans just don't win, then we need to preserve the human race. But then plot twist, they're not immediately whisked away to this new planet like they were told what was going to happen. And this is the thing that I was going to get into asking you about.
Yeah.
They have to go to school the next day and sit with the kids that they were going to abandon.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really process that, but holy shit. I mean, I guess they're so desensitized at this point, because they've seen some shit, and I forget how quickly they just snap right back into class.
I know, and I loved it because, like, that was, like, Rachel's struggle, is that she was like, do I go away with my dad or do I stay here? Do I go away to this other planet or do I stay here? Because, like, either, like, both of those decisions end up with giving up the fight, and it was so good the way they did characterization in this, and there was some fantastic, what's it called, existentialism that happens. The other thing I was gonna say is they end up finding where the Kandrona is, or Rachel figures out where the Kandrona is, which is like how they spew Kandrona beams into the Yerk pool in order to make it like the Yerk's homeworld, and that's important. So they destroyed the Kandrona, and it was going to take 3 weeks for a new one to come by, which meant 3 weeks without having an Earth-based Yerk pool. So it was a good blow, and that's how the story ends. Oh, also Rachel decides to stay, which I thought was nice.
Yeah. I like the closing line. I wasn't brave, I was just blind.
I wrote that one down! Yeah! Oh my gosh.
That goes hard.
I loved that line.
See, now that would be one that I would tattoo on myself.
Yeah.
Just because it's got Aries energy, what up, represent.
Yeah, there it is. I wasn't brave, I was just blind.
Should we go with quotes or questions next?
We can go with quotes, because I don't have that many questions. I just want to pick your brain and put you on the spot.
Yeah, that's fine. I know she doesn't actually say this, but in the beginning chapters where she's an elephant or like a bear, like it really has an energy of Rachel saying fuck around and find out.
Right? That's exactly what it happens. Like that, I love her.
I have one.
Go for it.
I have one from Marco that says, if you would laugh, like the first time, I wouldn't have to keep telling them in context of him telling jokes.
Yep.
And let me see. Oh, the good as a boy.
Oh, I wrote that one down.
Yeah. How do you feel about that one?
That was one of my questions, is how do you feel about that one?
Not good. I was like, ew. I mean, at least the mother called him out. In context, Rachel's father said that he didn't need a son because Rachel was good as a boy.
Yeah, and that was, I mean, I had feelings about that one, but I'm also like, I feel like that was his pathway into dissecting his toxic masculinity, but also you shouldn't have to have kids in order to dissect your toxic masculinity.
Right?
So that was why I'm like, oh my god, you're not giving points in this man's favor so far.
No. I think that was all of my quotes. What are your quotes?
I have a lot. First off, I just want to say that I did put Rachel's gonna end up in prison one day, and then in quotes, honorary.
If she gets caught.
If she gets caught. We also got a better description of the Andalites, which I really liked. Because I was really confused about what I was thinking about. I like Axe's line where he says a warrior is judged by the power of his enemies. I thought that was really fun for a character that's probably been raised in like a military family. And then Marco's line, surely a bunch of all-American kids like us could manage to wreck a car.
Yes, you can!
And Marco also got a you're gonna end up in prison one day honorary. Oh, I loved her transformation in, like, chapter 6 or something, where she's like, I'm the predator of darkness. I'm like, yeah, you are, Rachel. Be as edgy as you want, honey.
In your counselor voice.
Yeah. Absolutely. And then the other one I really liked was, if I was so brave and tough, why was I imagining a normal life?
Well, that one hurts! I forgot to mention, Axe saying people got that flaaaar smell.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, him talking and just the echolalia hitting really hard. And he doesn't do it all the time anymore. It's just 1 or 2 or 3, and then he goes back into talking, and I'm like, you're so cute.
Our transmass autistic icon.
Yeah.
Do you have any more quotes? Can I ask a question?
The question when Rachel tells everyone that this was before they find out that they have the choice to go to a different planet, they ask her, she says that she was offered to move with her dad, and they ask her, what are you gonna do? And it wasn't like a judgmental question. It was just kind of like a, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, that's so sweet. The kids are there to support each other.
Right? Because they gave her an option to walk out.
Yes. And then this is one of my favorite lines, because I wrote down, then it gets repeated. It says, how is a butterfly supposed to know when to flap her wings? In response to, when do you make little blows that lead to big blows? In like a war. And I wanted to cry because then Tobias repeats it later, and I'm just like, you're so sweet. And then I think that is all of my quotes.
Very good. Honestly, this book had some really hard hitters.
Right?
I feel like I say that about each book, but, you know. How do you feel about the Axe and Rachel ship proposed by Marco?
I love that Rachel shot it down so fast. Because I'm like, I feel like Rachel was either into Tobias, or she's just straight up like ace or a lesbian. Like, I don't think she's actually, because especially since Marco keeps calling her Xena Warrior Princess,
Yeah.
I'm like, you're gay coding her really hard. It's hard for me to think of her as anything else. But I thought it was cute, because I think she also likes him more in his Andalite form than his human form.
Oh, interesting.
I know Cassie likes him way more in his Andalite form.
Okay.
But I hated it. I hated Marco saying that.
Why? Because it defeated your ship a little bit?
I mean, there's... Yes?
But also, I guess it could be internalized, right?
Right, because
Like,
I'm
he deflects.
That's exactly what I was gonna say! He would, though! Oh my gosh.
Man, I'm glad I wrote that down.
That was great. I have no clue where we left off.
We were starting questions. I asked about, hi, we took a little break just because a really pretty girl came through.
We got distracted with her.
Anyhow, I asked it about the Rachel and Axe and Marco.
Yes.
And it's like, do you want to save your family or save your species is another question.
I had that question too. I was like, what decision would you have made? Whisk away or stay and fight?
This is a terrible question, because if I were ever given the Animorph ability, I would just not.
You wouldn't even fought in the first place.
I wouldn't. I would be like, this is cool. Can you take it back too? Can I do it? Can we start up? Can you pick someone else? I am a person who lives a very mundane, low-key life, and I like to keep it that way.
And how do you feel about these kids? Do they live exciting lives outside of before they got given the powers?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, it's middle school.
Oh. You are correct, it is middle school. I don't know, because I wrote this question, I knew you were going to turn it back on me.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm like, I'm with you on the fuck arounds, don't do that kind of stuff, but at the same time, you know me. I got punched at a protest.
Yeah, I got you in that protest. I called out specifically to drag your ass over there.
I forgot you were the one to drag me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so...
I guess, it depends on my Aries energy at that moment.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So, I think I would stay and fight, but that's just because I'm, like, an idealist. No judgment on people who would choose to leave, because that is... They were, like, fucking 12, too. No 12-year-old is gonna walk away from a fight.
Yeah, plus, it doesn't help that my dad tried to raise us as pacifists. And my parents were very profoundly anti-gun.
Your parents are so cool.
Yeah, I mean, they both have gun-related trauma. My mom, when she was, 10, saw her father, almost commit suicide. He took the gun and walked out the door with the intention of maybe not coming back. And then my father saw a friend get shot behind a church.
Yikes.
Yeah, he's from Eastern LA, baby.
Rough.
See, this is also why my parents call me a square.
And a nerd.
And a dork. I'm so boring.
I know, it's not like you have any tattoos or piercings or
to
dyed hair.
To be fair, my brother has more tattoos.
And he's younger.
And so does my sister. And my sister has the same amount of piercings. Well, maybe not.
I love that your sister eloped.
Yeah, my sister eloped on October. Just yeah. And, my brother also has piercings.
Yeah.
So, there's nothing every time I think I do something, these two come out of the shadows and are like, yeah, we did that last week.
Yeah, get with the program.
And I'm like, okay. I just want to be cool.
I live for that kind of stuff, though.
Like that one time where I had that undercut with the top kind of like cut it in a A-line. My brother had the same fucking haircut.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was like, how fucking dare you? I'm the oldest. This is my haircut? Go get a different haircut.
I love that. No, I'm the punk one of the family. Although all of my siblings would contest that, but I am. I was the one to come out first, so there's that. And then my parents knew that I wanted tattoos from a very young age. They don't know how many tattoos I have, and they never will.
I mean, my mom likes my tattoos in comparison to my youngers, but I'm also the favorite child.
That's true.
And also, I don't know. I've always just been, like, the responsible one out of the 3 kids. Like, I don't get into trouble, as far as they know. I just don't get caught, baby.
That's half the battle. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't get caught.
Yeah.
That's what I tell people.
What's our questions?
So those were basically my questions, but I also had other stuff.
While you're looking, I have a note here that says, ACAB is still strong.
ACAB is... Oh, that's something I wanted to mention. Okay, so at the beginning of Jake's second POV, he starts listing off people that he's scared are controllers. He says, you know, they could be your teachers, your parents, police officers, and just starts listing. And then Rachel, during her list off of who could be controllers, she says, it could be your best friends, your favorite teachers, and I'm like, oh, the characterization. Oh my gosh. So I was like, wow, these cousins are so different, and they make me weep. They make me weep. So that was a good distinction of character. That was one of my fears going into this book, is all the characters would sound the same, because that's what happens when a lot of times when they shift POVs, is they all sound the same.
X tries to eat a cigarette butt!
I love him. I love his echolalia. I love him trying to put everything into his mouth, just like any toddler. Grab, mouth. Oh my god, he's so perfect. Oh, this is one thing that I wrote down. That's one of my notes. These books are so edgy, I don't know if they'd ever be able to turn them into a TV series and keep it, like, PG. I was curious.
Oh, they would not be able to keep it PG.
It would definitely have to be, like, at least PG-13, if not, like, because they do things in there, and I'm like, this has got to be, like, some Stranger Things vibes.
Yeah, it's definitely Stranger Things or, like, 80s style PG-13.
Yeah. we were all scarred by the Goonies. Or it wasn't the Goonies, was it?
The one with
the treasure map?
Mm-hmm.
treasure map and the mutant, yeah. Well, he wasn't a mutant, but they call him a mutant, whatever.
You know, the casual ableism.
Yes.
Uh-
Sorry, I'll be quiet.
No, we won't mention who that voice is.
Just the very pretty girl.
Shut up.
You shut the fuck up. We're recording. Anyway.
I'm stuck in the middle.
Those are all my questions. There's just a lot. Oh, my other favorite part in this book is the kids seeing a skeleton bleached white across a desk from their school and then being like, oh my god, that's this teacher's classroom. I have that teacher. What if that's her skeleton? What were your thoughts on that scene?
Oh, kiddos. They ain't that clean. Bones ain't that clean.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I just thought that was funny as hell. Oh my gosh. And then, this is the other thing I wanted to mention. I saw recently, because I follow a bunch of fandom nerds, and Animorph stuff keeps, like, coming across my social media, and I keep having to scroll past because I don't want any spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
But, maybe I saved it. There was one person talking about how there was an AMA on a forum site that doesn't exist anymore with Applegate, with the author. And the question was something along...
Of course it's on Tumblr.
Shut the fuck up. Don't out me. I don't have a Tumblr. What are you talking about?
I have one, but I don't use it. I used to post speed paints on there.
Yeah, that's right. That's how I used to know you had speed paints.
Yeah, I kept that shit quiet. Now I don't really do speed paints anymore because it's too much effort.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through so much nonsense.
It's fine.
But the gist of the AMA was someone asked Applegate how much research she does on each animal before the kids morph into them. And she ends up giving this kind of long-winded answer that just surmounts to LOL, not much.
Oh, that's my goodnight mom alarm. Sorry, I gotta turn it off. Sorry, I say goodnight to my mom every night.
I was gonna out you on that, you just thanks.
Yeah.
You ruined my fun.
I have to voice it or else you voice it.
Yeah.
Like everyone else in the room at any time when the alarm goes off.
We're all like, aw, is it goodnight mom time?
I'm like, yeah, shut the fuck up. I have a caring mother that I have a good relationship with.
Be jealous.
Be jealous.
Don't worry, I am. But I just loved that quote because it's like, the fact that she was so spot on with so many of these different things, I'm like, she must have just done a bunch of research before ever writing the books, and then started writing the books and be like, what do I remember from this? Because that's what I'm guessing. Oh my god. Everything is about this new frickin' Glass Onion movie.
Okay, but like, the Glass Onion fucking it goes hard. People have compared it more as a heist movie than a, like, mystery.
Yes, I agree.
And, like, I get it.
Okay,
and I would love to have Knives Out 3 with the Muppets. For a second, I forgot, Pretty Girl, that you had the neck tattoo, and I was like, oh shit, who hurt you?
Okay.
Why are you commenting on my existence? Record your little show.
Sorry, it's fine, your betrothed here can just cut it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's not going to, that's the thing.
I'll just make more work by rambling.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you for rambling. I could not find it.
That's fine.
What did you read recently?
Not much. Listen, it's winter. I got seasonal dep. It's hard for me to read things. But I read, I'm still 70. Listen, I started this book in October and I haven't finished it. It's January. It's, Razor's Edge. I'm 70 pages away from finishing it, and it's a trip. It's a classic, which means it takes forever, even though it's only like 300 pages.
Yeah.
And it's taken me months. There's another thing that I read recently that I thought was like, oh, so cute. It was like a comic book. I can't recall.
I'm trying to think of it and I can't think of it because I think you might have told me about it.
It was a magic fish.
Yeah?
Yeah, because we talked about that last time. I fucking love magic fish, though. That's like, I cry every time I just look at it. I'm just like bawling my eyes out. What did you read?
I read so much actually. Because it's the end of the year and I had a book goal of 24 books to read.
Did you reach it?
I read 23 books!
Hey! Hey!
Thank you for blowing out the mic.
I want to edit in some...
I'm just gonna take that noise bit and put it to the front. Alright, so I read the first A Wizard of Earthsea from Ursula K. Le Guin. I read Gideon the Ninth. I read the entirety of the Rick Riordan Trials of Apollo series. One of his better series. I read Six of Crows, and then I read The Bird King, which... Six of Crows, obviously by Leigh Bardugo, I think is how you pronounce their name. The Bird King is by G. Willow Wilson. And oh my gosh, I was so into it. I think it's a great book. I think it's either YA or new adult. The main character was 17, so probably YA. It was so good, so nuanced. I didn't love the ending, but the rest of the book was really worth the read. I'm not going to say much about Six of Crows, because fucking everyone's read Six of Crows at this point.
I really want to read the Raven Cycle, just because I keep seeing good fan art.
I want to read the Raven Cycle, because everyone's like, it's gay, and I'm like, great! Oh, Six of Crows is also gay.
Oh, right on!
It is hard to read.
Yeah, okay. Well then, see, I want to read Gideon the Ninth. If I read it and finish it, we can make an episode of that.
It's a trilogy.
It's fine.
Okay.
That'll be like a holiday special, a little treat.
A little treat. I will say this. Once I was about 150 pages in, I loved the prose. I thought they were, like, great. Before I got to the, like, 50-page mark, though, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get past, because I do a 50-page minimum on books, if they're, like, you know, standard 300 pages, before I decide to DNF it. To getting in the 9th until I got to that 50-page mark was very much, I might put this book down, it sucks. And then in the next 100 pages, it was the best prose ever, and I loved it. So
Be aware of that.
be aware of that if you want to commit to this, because you might.
Because I do have, like, a bookmark in it, because I did start reading it a little bit.
It is definitely not up there. Oh, yes, it is. My bad. It's right under Six of Crows.
Yeah, I got a post-it note in that fucker.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I want to let the people know that our profile pic is once again out of date, as I no longer have a mohawk. I buzz cut in my hair and then dyed 1/3 of it blonde. Like, I bleached it.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not changing it, though. So,
Y'all have to deal.
y'all have to deal.
Oh yeah. I think I'm missing some flowers.
Oh, yeah, you got more ink.
I got more
This
ink.
fucker got more ink and destroyed our good profile pic.
Yeah, I was the one who destroyed it, definitely.
Mhm.
Please comment book recommendations, because I do have 32. And comment indie book recommendations. I want independently published stuff. There's a lot that I have on my list that's not independently published, but I have a goal of, I believe, half the books I read this year, like 18 out of my 32 book goal this year, to be independently published.
Man, I'm really trying to think about that comic I read, but I
I
don't
know.
remember it at
Was it
all.
online?
Listen, I don't know.
Okay.
I can't. You have to spare me on these. I have chronic migraines, and so sometimes I have lapses on small little memory things.
You're so valid. That was everything I read.
Do you have any New Year's resolutions? Wait, we said that in the beginning.
We did say that in the beginning. I would need to pull out my journal, which is nowhere near me.
Hey, that's alright. But you know what?
What?
That's also disgusting.